Okay, folks, here's my last pitch on the election. In 2020, I made a video laying out 10 reasons to vote for Trump. Now I'm going to let out 10 reasons to vote for Trump in 2024. As I do, you'll see that America was hurt badly, the areas I'm talking about, because of the Biden-Harris administration's extreme un-American policy. The middle class and American families have been crippled by these radical progressive policies. So here we go. Reason number one, Trump's policies are pro-God. Harris's progressive policies are anti-God. Look at Trump's policies, judicial nominations, look what he did. Then look at what Biden and Harris did. They want freedom from religion, not freedom of religion. They've sued religious institutions for practicing their religion. Catholic universities, Catholic hospitals. If you practice religion, they don't like it. It's that simple. Look at the way they've challenged the nominations based on their deeply held religious. So that's reason number one. Reason two, Trump is pro-America. He says it in his motto all the time, MAGA, make America great again. He's for strong American leadership in the world. Leadership under Trump resulted in America staying out of wars, resulted in peace deals in the Middle East. What's the leadership under Biden and Harris done over the last 4 years? It's been weak, appeasing, lead from behind leadership. It gave us the Afghan withdrawal debacle. It gave us the Russia-Ukraine war. Now it's given us Iran, Hamas, and Hezbollah and the terrorism against Israel. Reason number three, Donald Trump is pro-life, pro-religious liberty, and he's pro-school choice. Those are three big issues. Pro-life, abortion's been returned to the states. The states are going to vote on everything across the board for that. That's good. Pretty simple. Pro-religious liberty, he's in favor of freedom to practice your religion. Very simple. Trump's administration is not going to sue hospitals and universities and other organizations for practicing their religion. Biden administration, Harris's full support has done that. It's funny because the abortion issue, they talk about my body, my choice. But when it came to my body, my choice with the vaccines, fired people, took away their livelihoods, punished their families. My body, my choice had nothing to do with that. Killing a baby, it's their body, their choice. Other than that, it's not your body, your choice. The other thing they did is they pushed hard. They talk about choice. Choice goes with democracy. They pushed hard to keep people off the ballots, not just in the Democrat Party, but in the Republican Party, in the Independent Party, in the Green Party. They didn't want Trump on the ballot. They didn't want the voter. We talk about being anti-democracy. They didn't want the voter to be able to choose who they wanted for these positions. So they didn't want the voter to be able to vote for Trump. They didn't want the voter to be able to vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They didn't want the voter to be able to vote for Gail Stein. They didn't want the voter to be able to vote for Cornel West. So they're very funny when it comes to those things. The only religious people they like are the people that don't practice their religion. Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Casey, Tim Kaine. The people like Amy Coney Barrett, who Supreme Court justice, they didn't like that she practiced it. And they made a point of it. They held religious values, as they did with other judicial nominees. So that's the third reason. He's pro-life, he's pro-religious liberty, he's pro-school. Reason number four, he's pro-middle class and he's pro-American worker. His policies lifted real wages, taxes for everybody, everybody across the board. Free tax brackets, they cut tax. Now, Nancy Pelosi talked about that being breadcrumb. You give somebody in the middle class $5,000 a year, that's not breadcrumbs. Nice extra vacation. And $5,000 to her is nothing. I mean, her necklaces are way more than that. But to middle class people, $5,000 is a lot of money. The Biden and Harris, everybody's been punished. Real income has dropped. Inflation has gone skyrocketing. Middle class families spending an extra $10,000 a year because of Bidenomics. So look at the record. Look at what Trump did. Real income went up. Middle class people were lifted. Biden Harris, people have been pulled down. And that's the difference. You want to lift people up. You don't want to pull people down economically. Reason number 5, Trump's economic policies have benefited all groups. Women, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, across the board, benefited all groups. Like I say, lifting people up, not dragging them down. Bidenomics, Biden Harris is, yeah, here's how we're going to do it. Build back better. Well, they didn't build back better. Shot inflation through the roof. They shot our debt through the roof. They shot the deficit through the roof. Quality of life regarding daily expenses far higher under Trump. Reason number 6, Trump's policies resulted in a strong military and respect for America. Trump built the military. He projected strength around the world. He also got NATO members to pay their share, increasing what they had to pay. Biden and Harris led to a world on fire, from the disgraceful Afghan withdrawal to the Russian-Ukraine war and on to the horrifying terrorist attacks. Harris and the progressives, and it's not just the president and the people behind this administration and the progressives. They're the ones pushing the policy. They've been a night progressive policy. In this way, they've been horrible against Israel, against Israel's right to defend themselves, constant calls for a ceasefire when Hamas hostages, and the ceasefire will let Hamas stay in power and give them back territory that's been cleared by Israel for safety purposes. And it won't give them back the hostages. And they're supposed to trade 100 hostages for 1,000 terrorists. So it's ridiculous. Look, then they call for regime change in Israel. Humor. Tyrant. And now we find out that he was supporting the Hamas protests in Columbia University. Told Columbia University, don't worry about it. It's a Republican problem. Keep your head down. Don't worry. It's not an issue. Those protests endangered the lives of people. They should have been snuffed out. Reason number 7, immigration. Not a lot to say there because it's well known that Trump's policies were to enforce the immigration laws. Biden and Harris have just done away with havoc and inflicted horrors on families across the country. They allowed a stampede of ills and criminals into this country. That also busted our deficit, busted our state, all the money to illegals that should have gone to Americans, low in economic levels. So, Harris, oh yeah, the border czar that refused to go to the border. She went recently because there's an election. Now she's MAGA because there's an election. She doesn't have a clue, but Trump, the real MAGA, will fix what Harris and Biden broke. Reason number 8, Trump has a record, and so does Harris. Trump tells you exactly what he's going to do, and he's already done it. Look at his record. Look at what he did. Now, Harris also has a record. She's telling you what she's going to do like she hasn't been there for 3.5 years. She lies to you with a smile and a chuckle. Sounds really nice. Sounds nicer than Trump. But what she does isn't really nice. She wants to be the MAGA Democrat now, right? She wants to frack. She wants to secure the border. She wants to build the wall. She wants to support Israel, but she doesn't do any of those things. It's pretty easy to know when the election's over, she's going to go back to being who she is, which is an empty suit. Look at the Democrat senators in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Ohio. They're running commercials that they're in line with Trump's policies, that they don't agree with Harris on those issues, including on tariffs, not just on fracking, including on tariffs, including on the border, including on building the wall. They're running those commercials. So keep that in mind. And the last thing on those senators running those, that they voted 95% of the time in line with Biden and Harris. They gave us those border policies, Biden and Harris gave us Bidenomics. They're the ones who put Chuck Schumer in charge of the Senate, voted for Chuck Schumer. So when they say, oh, yeah, we support Trump, voting for Chuck Schumer, the agenda in front of the Senate, run the Senate. So they, like Harris, are on the clueless side here. They're not clueless. They're just lying to you. They're flat out lying. Their record is tremendously different from what they're doing. And if you want to go MAGA, go MAGA. That means vote for Donald Trump, not for them. Issue number 9 here, the 9th reason, we're down to nothing but scare tactics. Democrats always tell you, oh, they do this, they do that. They're going to try and scare you. Trump has told you what he's going to do, and he's done what he's going to do. Harris is back to scare tactics. My lifetime, every Republican candidate, they're racist, sexist, warmonger. They're going to cut Social Security. They're going to cut Medicare. They're going to throw grandma off the cliff. That's what they've done. They're now saying that about Trump. He's going to do it, except he was already there and he didn't. So regarding the tactics, what happened to running the promising and the positive campaign? I'll tell you what happened. They can't run a positive campaign because they can't run on their record, because it's horrible. Their policies are the problem. She is the problem. Don't buy the nonsense. She broke it. Trump will fix it. He won't. She hasn't. And finally, reason number 10. Trump is talking for the everyday guy. He may be the rich guy, but he's talking for the everyday guy. Look at the connection he has to people. He sees what the everyday guy sees. Harris is the elitist. She knows what's best for you. Listen to how they're chastising the brothers. Have to vote for Harris. Listen to how they're telling married women not to obey their husbands, to lie to them. They can do it in the booth without their husband knowing. What they think, married women, that's what a marriage is. They think men and women that are married, the man's telling the woman everything to do. Fucking lockstep. They think that little of married women. Think they don't make their own choices and have to lie to their husbands about what they do. That's their values. These people are sick. They've called Trump horrible names. He calls people names. I don't like that. It's part of politics. Called Trump horrible names. They've called Vance horrible names. They've called Borders garbage. And now on top of that, right after doing that and right after having walk it back, called Trump supporters garbage, Tim Walz went out and he talked about Elon Musk being some. What the hell is that? These people are sick. Now, let me finish on the topic. They're telling us that Doug Emhoff is the true masculine good guy, modern day guy. Doug Emhoff, the guy who cheated on his wife, knocked her up, knocked up the nanny, and then got divorced. The guy who slapped around his girlfriend because of the manner in which she looked at and talked around his girlfriend because of the manner in which she looked at and talked to somebody else while they were out socializing. Like I said, these people are sick. Okay, so there you have it, folks. 10 solid reasons to vote for Donald Trump as the 47th president. Now, please get out there and vote for Donald Trump.